The other day, Senator Ted Kennedy died. He had a battle with cancer, and they're talking about his memoirs, and I forget the name of what they are. It's coming out, and how he says in his memoirs that he accepted the Warren Commission's finding that Oswald shot Kennedy alone. He was the lone assassin. And I just wanted to comment that, I don't know, what someone writes in a book, or to leave around when they're gone, but I don't, I was probably 5 years old when Kennedy was assassinated, and I can hardly imagine that Oswald was the lone assassin if he was involved at all. And the U.S. government's never come clean about that case, and I think Congress even ruled that it was a conspiracy. And so it's sort of sad that at the end of his life that he, it sort of feels like, to myself, that he acquiesced to make a statement like that in his book, because I think there's it followed the line of thinking of who benefited off the assassination, and it certainly wasn't Oswald, but the lone nutcase gunman situation has always been put forward in more complicated cases, and I think that the case in Dallas was one of those.
Tate menu, no?
Ganinho. Ganinho. Ganinho.
Có được. Punya cucu, no? Siapa lah dia?
Okay, what we're doing here is, this is glued last night, that's glued last night. And so what we're doing here is, this morning we're going to put these two together, right in here like this. We want to get them set really carefully before we put them in place. And then that right there, and then then what we're gonna do is we're gonna hammer on this and really put it in there. Now, like I say, this could probably have been a thicker piece of leather, but for now, this is what we're gonna do. And then we're going to slap this. To try to drive that together. We don't have a shoe last, so we just sort of got to go with this. What now we'll do is put a layer of glue here and a layer of glue here. We'll do that tonight. We'll put a layer in both places, and then this close up like that. Like I say, we maybe could have put a thicker piece of leather in there, but I think this one will be okay. I think it'll be perfect actually, and then we'll have it sewed back together. So that's one of them done, and that's what it looks like. Okay, and so this is the second piece of leather. I marked it because once you get it on there, it's hard to get off. You can't. And we put that in there, and I fitted this perfectly last night. I get this tip in here, make sure it's fitting, and get it set in there between the well. Make sure that that's all fitting correctly. And then I'm going to set it right here and press it down with this stick. We'll glue this here and we'll put that together later. So we're not going to put glue in there right now. We got other things to do. And we have the horse on this piece of property, and this morning a guy come by and put no trespassing signs up, and I told him, well, his fellows that was buying it let us put the horse here, and he goes, well, it's not their property anymore because they didn't make their payments. And I said, well, can we just keep the horse here till morning, we're leaving? And he goes, well, I don't know, you know. And it was sort of like, you know, let's cause a problem. So we got to find a place to move the horse and the bus here this morning. You know, somebody's not getting theirs, and so anyway, people and their disputes. We don't want to be in the middle of it. So rubber cement in here on both sides, and we're gonna let it dry, and then we're gonna go find a boot repair shop, and we're gonna have them just stitch it. Since even the pair that I had repaired, see here, hey, same problem. The guy didn't do it right. So we're gonna glue this up and get it ready to hammer together this part. Okay, so you can come in here close and take a look, Cabelli. I'm gluing this leather. Okay. You didn't even think about nothing, you just went to sleep, huh? Okay, so this is the other part of it. This is the welt, and we're gluing this up. Tony Lama, eat your heart out. I learned in 1975 helping Cal in West Salem, Oregon, an old black guy who was getting crippled, running his shoe repair shop, and he showed me how to do a good boot repairing. And this is what we did on every pair of boots that come in. We used Corker leather in here, and we did a real nice job, and we didn't send any cheap stuff out the door, I tell you that. And Cal used to complain to me and say, everything nowadays, they just want to make it cheaper and cheaper. And this is what we did on every pair of boots. And sometimes we use cork in here. It depends, but as hard we use as I'm using these boots for, we want to use leather. So that pair is done. You want those to stick together. Okay. We'll do the other pair and we'll show you when we hammer them together. You want to hold that bottle for me, Yango? You want to hold that? Like that, okay? Tagasede. Okay. Yango, he's going to, what? You see, it's sticky. Yango's going to help me out. And Apium, you want to help out, Apium? Eh, bera ja no mala. Bera ja tasata do na, josama do piolame. All you druggies out there, don't go sniffing this glue, man. It's a little bit too good. So, okay, we're getting this all glued up. And see, when you make something, a working boot, you know, when you make a working boot, it should be really good that people can use it for a long time, and it's not going to go bad on them, you know, 2 weeks after they buy it. You know, you use real materials and good leather and charge people for it, but give them what they pay for, you know. Don't give them a cheap-ass job. Okay, so there's number 2 done, okay? G-Man. So what we're going to do today is we're going to hammer these 2 together, and then all it's going to need is stitching. Let's try it on, see how it feels. And yeah, it feels good. That glue will have to set up and dry real good. Alright, that's basically how you do it. My dear, no. Very nice. And her grandmother in Thailand made that outfit for her. Japilia. And it's really, really nice. An El Camino near an old field of grass. American Dreams, a Chevrolet, an old heat cooler in the back, a tire or 2. Yeah. And kids chasing grasshoppers. A big bus and 1 little girl. Yeah. Okay, we got a little bee here. It's digging a hole. Busy little guy. And this is probably the kind that stings spiders and puts them in their paralyzed in there, and then lays eggs on them, something like that.
Busy little.
Okay, we were talking the other day about a vinegaroon. Here one is. First time we've seen one.
Roswell.
Wow. He's ready to fight, man. She wants little puppies. So I keep my eye open for a little puppy, and yeah, she's like, you know, like tried to walk out the door with a few people's puppies, you know. Just made friends with it. Cabello. Have you ever seen this many? There's a Rocky Mountain goat, here's a cougar, and a mountain lion, and there's a mountain goat, and all kinds of things I don't know the name of.
They mostly have tags if you can read it that far away. My eyes are not.
A zebra. Can you see how there's a mule deer and a tahr?
Yeah.
And a awadad. And there is, that's an enormous amount of hunting.
Moose. Yes, it looks like snow, doesn't it?
So there's like a zoo. Did you see the size of this wild boar? See here?
We went to Venezuela and went peacock bass fishing. So these ones are all peacock bass on the outside. But that's called a payara, and that's called a piranha.
And those 2 are oryx from White Sands, New Mexico. Those are the ones that are on the White Sands Reservation.